Hey, 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 and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about, we're going to do a book review. So today we're going to talk about the Sudoku Murder by Shelley Freydont. I keep saying the Sudoku Murders, but there's only one murder. So, let's go ahead and I'll read the summary and then we will talk about it. Alright, murder meets Sudoku in this mind-bending mystery. The first in a series of whodunits, perfect for fans of Sudoku. Professor P.T. Avondale, founder of the Avondale Puzzle Museum, is discovered murdered at his desk, his own letter opener protruding from his neck, a half-finished Sudoku puzzle in front of him. Katie MacDonald, member of the Institute of Theoretical Mathematics and master puzzle solver, has returned home to Granville, New Hampshire, only days before to save her childhood mentor's museum from being auctioned to make way for an outlet mall. Now she finds herself as curator of the museum, mentor to the professor's newest charge, a 14-year-old runaway, and the only one in town with the wits and determination to find the professor's killer. As Katie reacquaints herself with the museum, its maze of rooms filled with puzzles from around the world and throughout the centuries, and searches for answers among the townspeople, plenty of whom had motives for murder, she becomes the police chief's #1 suspect and the actual killer's #1 target. With the help of a handful of endearingly quirky allies and an ingenious clue left by the professor in his unfinished Sudoku, Katie works to solve this puzzle before a ruthless killer catches her and applies his own deadly solution. It also says, the Sudoku murder is sure to delight all fans of Sudoku puzzles in general, and murder that is definitely not by the numbers. Alright, so this book was first published in 2007. It has 342 pages, 29 chapters, very simple, very easy, we like that. I actually picked this book because we signed up for, our library does this thing called the adult reading program. You know, every summer, usually libraries do kids reading programs and children's reading programs, and I think that that's great. But as an adult, obviously, I am not part of that. And so one of our local libraries does an adult reading program, and I freaking love that. And they do, basically, they usually give you, like last year, it was a bingo sheet, and you had to complete certain tasks to get like different bingos and to get things. This year, it's kind of like a map wheel. It's based on whatever their theme is, right? So you have to complete different tasks and you get them checked off and you get like tickets into like a grand prize. Just like with the children's reading program, there are prizes, but they're more like adult prizes. Like a grand prize is a $600 gift certificate to a local bike store. One of the prizes is like a Fitbit that I really want. I really want that Fitbit. You know, prizes, just there are different little things, right? But they're more like an Instapot was one last year. There's an air fryer, I think, this year. You know, stuff that adults can use. I picked up this book because, like, I used to do Sudoku all the time. I actually do word puzzles. I will buy word, like word search kind of puzzles, except I buy the penny press ones at my local Walmart, just because Walmart's the one that carries them. And penny press are really hard to find, apparently. They don't stock them always, but they have like a mix of ones. They have like word searches, they have like vowel, you have fill in the vowel, they have like you fill in the word, you find a word, you write the word down, like words that start with certain letters. You know, they have like different kinds of little word brain puzzles. But I really enjoy that, and I've enjoyed that for a very long time. But I used to do Sudoku all the time. I still can do Sudoku, I just haven't in a long time. I'm just more on word puzzles right now. Not crossword puzzles. We don't like crossword puzzles over here. I've just never been very good at them. I've never been into learning or getting good at them. So, there's that. But anyway, I picked up this because obviously I like true crime. I like murder mysteries. I like, puzzle stories. I like trying to figure things out. And, I was like, Sudoku, I know, and I enjoy Sudoku. I enjoy murder. I don't want to say I enjoy murders, but like, you know, murder mystery. So trying to figure out who killed somebody, and, you know, it's not clear from the title, like, are they killed because of the Sudoku? Is it like a group that meets and does Sudoku and they all get together and like some of them get, that's not completely clear, but, you know, I mean, obviously when you read the inside book jacket, there it is. But that's why I picked out this book. It's not a book that I would ordinarily pick out. Will go ahead and say that. But I'm glad that I grabbed it, and I actually ended up really getting into it. So I rated this 4 out of 5 stars. It's not great. The writing is not great. It's very kind of cheesy. The main character, Katie, she grew up in this town in Granville, and then she grows up, and she's very, very intelligent. And she bonds with the professor when she's a child, and he owns the puzzle museum, which has like jigsaw puzzles and like cryptograms and just any kind of puzzle, basically. And like hidden pictures, that kind of thing. And it's a museum of all of these things, and the professor is the curator of it, and she, I think, walked in there and she just really loved it and started going there more often, and they would do puzzles together, and she got very good at it. They became very close. She went away, she went to school, and now she works with, she's a theoretical mathematician. She works with the government. She has like top level security clearance, which I still don't understand. I don't understand what a mathematician can do for our, like, obviously we need mathematicians, we need people who are good at math, but I'm just like, I don't know theoretical math. I don't know what that job would be, but that's what she does. So obviously she went to school. She's a professional mathematician. She's incredibly smart, but she doesn't live in Granville anymore. She's been gone for about 10 years. So in the beginning of the story, the professor sends her a letter and says, hey, I could use your help with, I need your help with something. And of course, because they're so close, she's like, absolutely. She takes time off of work, which, as we know, is super easy to do. Like, take 2 or 3 weeks off of work, take a sabbatical, especially if you work a government job, and just go back to her hometown and help him. And he doesn't even say like what he needs help with. He could need help getting up the stairs. Like, he doesn't specify. And I'm just saying that because, she went. He didn't say what he needed help with. She went to help him. He doesn't specify what he needs help with. But she was like, well, it must be serious if he wrote me a letter. So she goes back to her hometown. It's very much like a cozy mystery in that respect, because she's been gone for 10 years. She comes back, and of course all the townspeople, a lot of them are elderly, right? Her Aunt Prudence is one of them. She lives next door to her house, or down the street from her house. And or the house where she's staying. I don't know if it's her house. It's a house in her family. But it's very much like a cozy mystery. She returns to her hometown, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you home. And she's kind of like, but she just wants to get down to business, right? Because she wants to get back to her life. But then, of course, the more she stays there, the more she falls back in love with her hometown, and wants to, stay there, figure out a way to stay there. I will say, like, it's a lot like probably some hometowns across the United States. They have a new police chief who is an out-of-towner, and of course, when you live in a small town and you have an out-of-towner, for any position like that, they all brush him off. Like, when the professor gets killed, they're all like, no, they, because they all know her, they protect each other. He's not one of their own. They don't protect him. They don't help him. They're making his job more difficult. But of course, Katie and him kind of have this slight bond. There's not too much there's not in romance. I mean, it talks about her having inappropriate thoughts about him at one point, and it talks about, obviously you can tell that they're attracted to each other, but there's no, like, they don't actually get together. They don't kiss. They don't do anything. But one of the funny things I think about this book is that her Aunt Prudence is constantly trying to, because Katie is single, she's constantly trying to set her up with different men in the town, and her biggest thing is job security. Like, she sets her up with somebody who owns a mechanic shop, and she's like, people need their cars fixed. That's job security. You need somebody with job security. And I think, I don't want to say we all have somebody in our family like that, but we probably do. I mean, exactly the kind of person I'm talking about. Have somebody in your family that would say that to you, or has said that to you, even if they don't actually like set you up. They do all that, and it's just hilarious to me. Obviously the professor's death is very, very gruesome. They talk about, his letter opener is sticking out of his neck. That's probably the worst part of the whole book as far as the graphicness. There's no spiciness in the book. There's no sex. There's no relations like that. There's no further violence. There are different things that happen. Obviously, because it's a murder mystery, there's a killer on the loose, and she's hunting the killer. And in books like this, the person who's hunting the killer also tends to be the killer's #1 target. So they're kind of chasing each other, if that makes sense. It's a very cute little book. It's not the best that I've ever read. The writing is a little cheesy, and there are some words in here that I had to look up because I didn't know the meaning of them. Don't appreciate that. But we always like to expand our vocabulary over here, so that's fine. It's a cute little book. It's a cute book. I have to say, and this is the first book out of 3 books. There's actually 2 more books. I am wanting to read the next 2 books. I'm hoping that Katie and the police chief, whose name is Brandon Mitchell, I hope that they get together. Like, I was waiting for them to get together before the end of this book, and it didn't quite happen. Like, they were so close to, like, finally saying, yeah, I like you too, and let's get together. No, they didn't. And it ends with them being at a party, and her and the police chief were talking, and her aunt pulls her over and is like, I have this guy I want you to meet. He has job security and all this stuff. And he just, like, the police chief just starts, like, laughing at her, and he's like, good luck. And so it's very cutesy. It is very cutesy. It's very endearing. There is talk of mild child abuse, and I always say mild child abuse, because when I say mild, I don't mean that it's not severe. I just mean the talk of it is mild, so it's kind of more, there are some things that are described, but they're not described in graphic detail. So the protege, the 14-year-old, his name is Harry, and he's not treated very well by his uncle. And so it's kind of, it's weird because I feel like people in the town, they know that he's not treated very well, but at the same time, it seems like nobody really steps in to do anything until Katie steps in and is like, no, this is not okay. Like, you can't treat people anyway. Very, very frustrating. But there are some, there's a little bit of talk of that. It's not bad, and I will say that he's fine. He's fine. He's okay. No, the kid does not die in this book. Spoiler alert. Okay, Harry is not dead. He did not die. He did not get killed. I think, in child abuse situations, I think it sometimes it can get bad enough that it goes there, but not in this book. Okay, so there's nothing like that. It's a very good book. Like I said, it's not the best that I've read, but it's pretty good. It's very intriguing. It's very, as I wrote down here, it's very delightful and very twisty. I have to say that the antagonist, the person who's behind everything, is not who you suspect. I mean, it kind of is. It's somebody who's on the suspect list, but it's not somebody that you, like, throughout the book, like, different things kind of make you think maybe it's somebody else. Because there's a couple of, like, main suspects that you're looking at, and you're like, no, it's definitely one of these people. But no, it's not. Spoiler, it's not who you think it is. It's always the person you medium suspect. Am I right? It's a very cute book. I do recommend, if you like murder mysteries, like I said, there's very little romance. There's no spice in this book. There's very little gruesomeness. It's more, she returns to her hometown, and she goes to see the professor like a handful of times before he ends up killed. And of course she gets these, like, letters in the mail, and they're like, see, you shouldn't have come home, or you shouldn't have come back, or whatever. And then it turns out to be this bigger than what you think it is. And I have to say that the end of the story, it wraps it up in a nice little package, this book, as far as the plot. And it's not confusing, but it's a little underwhelming, because you read the whole book and you're thinking that it's one thing, and then you get to the end and you're like, that's it, that's what happened, like, that's it. But it is intriguing, because I think in small towns, of course, if you have a small town and you only have 100 people living there, sometimes the issues are really big, but a lot of times they're not. And I think the motivations for the murder and for different things, it's exactly what you think it might be. I mean, when you're reading it, you're just like, oh, this is probably why he got killed. It's exactly what you think it is, in a way. But like the who and the twists and turns about everything that's involved is very intriguing. It's very well done. So I do recommend this book. Let me know if you have read this book or any other books by Shelley Freydont. Please don't put any spoilers in the comments, but you can put your thoughts. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. I will include a list of everything on my face today, everything I use for my makeup and for the book, because I did find it on Amazon, and spoiler alert, it's like $10 even for hardcover. Anyway, maybe it's like 15. Anyway, I'll include some links in the description box below. These are affiliate links, which means they do pay me a small amount if you use them to purchase anything, but it's a great way to support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything extra. So if you shop on Amazon and you use one of my links, it doesn't matter what you buy. It doesn't matter if you use the item that I linked or if you go and you shop for completely different items. With some exceptions and exclusions, I do get a portion of that. So it's a great way to support me, support my channel, help me be able to keep doing this and not have to get a regular job. And yeah, I haven't published it yet, but I am working on a review over on my blog channel, over on my blog for this book. So if you want a more detailed and in-depth book review, go over to my website, beautifullyfearless.com, find the link to my blog, and it'll take you right over to there, and then you just select, I always put, you know, like the book, the title of the book, the author, and then I put book review in there. So you just select that and you can read about it, my thoughts and more like in depth on the book. But yeah, let me know all the things in the comments below. Don't forget to go follow me over on the Instagram. Like this video if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring that bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video, because you never know what kind of content is going to pop up over here on this channel. I thank you all so much for watching. I love you all very, very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!